before I get to indicators, the big reason why monitoring, evaluation, and impact assessment is so important right now is not just because we want to do monitoring, not just because we want to do evaluation, but we realize we need a process. And so setting up a performance management system is really what a lot of you, when you say, I want to know more about monitoring and evaluation, the reason why you want to know it is so that you can set up a process. And that's what I want to cover here now. Very importantly, your ability to monitor and evaluate is directly linked to your budget. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. You're not going to assess the impact of your 2,000 Rand donation for a Christmas party for child welfare. You do want to know that they got the money, that it was spent on the children loved it, and it gave them a sense of community. There's not much more you can expect. For 2,000 Rand, trust me. So generally, all projects are monitored. All projects. Because you give something and you want to know where did it go and what happened to it and did it make a little bit of difference than you thought. So generally, all projects are monitored. Moving up to the scale, most programs go through some form of evaluation. Again, it's going to depend on the budget. So if you've built an orphanage, there's going to be periodic. Okay, so now the bricks were laid, the house was built, the minister was there, they cut the ribbon, the children moved in. What changed? You've now got to watch the children. See what happens. You know, their behavior changed, right? Their school attendance changed. Then their pass rates changed. Then crime came down. And then we leveraged this, we registered all of them, we gave them IDs and we registered them on SASSA. And so this is how this became a sustainable orphanage. So most projects have got some form of evaluation over time. Some projects has got a bigger evaluation over a longer period. Again, related to the budget that you've spent on it because of accountability and the time. So if it's a donation of books, you want to know, you want to see the pictures, you want to know the difference the books have made. But once the books are given to the value of 25,000 Rand, you're not going to have a 6 months evaluation to go and check that, right? So I'm just saying, depending on the time, the scale of your project, the budget of your project, is going to actually determine the evaluation process. And then lastly, very few programs are actually going to be exposed to rigorous impact assessment. We started, because this is such a new environment for investors, we do impact assessment over total portfolio. So if you spend R500 million a year, we will do a paper assessment from donations to sponsorships to all sorts of things. But the client generally says to us, you know what, that was my flagship, so that was high risk, that was high budget. We need to know. So what we have learned is programs that carry high risk over a long period of time at an extended budget, which you probably would consider refunding, or in a portfolio that you want to expand, you really want to know more. So to just give you a scale, all projects are monitored. Most projects are evaluated. But fewer projects are really subjected to deep impact assessment, simply because of the cost. Because in order to do an impact assessment, you need time, you need resources, but that's not the point. The information in order to tell you whether it happened. And now things like baselines come into play, strategies come into play, theories of change come into play. The most critical input into an impact assessment is monitoring and evaluation data, because that process has already been done. So we don't generally assume you've got all this information, that you've got baselines, that you've got all of these things. But I do want to say, when you set up a performance management system, you're going to start slowly but surely. First, let's get monitoring right. Then let's focus on evaluation. And then we're going to do impact assessment. I also want to just say, when do you do what? So monitoring, I've already explained to you, is an ongoing process, month by month by month. Evaluation is time-based. So you're probably not going to do an evaluation report every month, because very little change. You need to give projects time to get to impact, to get to sustainability. So there's no sense and purpose in doing a monthly evaluation report. So generally it's either quarterly or half-yearly or year-end kind of reports, depending on the time and the resources and the money you've got to get that done, and the underlying information that is available to do that. But remember, people need to go out and find the information to evaluate a project. So whilst they're busy implementing the project, they can't always write the reports. And then impact assessment, this is what we've learned, can be at a specific point in time. But you don't have to do it when a project's completed. A number of our clients look at impact for course correction, or it's at the beginning or the end of a funding cycle, or when they want to develop a new strategy based on the evidence of what worked or didn't work. So an impact assessment can be either based on past or for the future. So I just wanted to make that point. So when you set up a system, you go back now on Monday morning and you say, right, from now on, we're going to evaluate and monitor our projects. What is the first thing that you've got to do? What do you want to know? What do you want to know? So you've got to be very clear. Before you ask for something, what are you going to do with that information? And here's the problem with current practice. We ask for everything in the kitchen sink. But we don't understand the burden that actually causes. So what do you want to know?